Now, I want to talk about, because Kelly, you and I divide on this one, Attack on Titan Junior High.
Yeah, so that's another review you can see right now on IGN.com. Yeah, I really enjoyed that show, and I wasn't sure if I would. And so when I first watched Attack on Titan, I watched it with my roommate, and we would come up with, not come up with all these inside jokes, but we had all these inside jokes about it. Because her name's Erin. And, there's like a scene from the manga where Jean's like, what is it, Erin? And so like that's what I would say to her all the time. Like I'd walk up to her and she'd be like laughing at something. I'd be like, what is it, Erin? And then she would laugh even harder. So Attack on Titan Junior High reminded me a lot of that aspect of Attack on Titan for me, because I had all these jokes about it. There were lots of jokes on the internet, like memes about it, like how Steven Tyler attacks Erin's mom because that Titan looks exactly like Steven Tyler. And so it was almost like someone had watched me make jokes about Attack on Titan and was like, you know what, I'm gonna make a show exactly for her. So I just kept laughing, and I was like texting my old roommate, like, oh my god, you won't believe Hans is the janitor. Like it's just like stuff like that where I'm like, this character has this funny role, and I liked it a lot.
You can't hear this, but I'm shaking my head, listeners, because I was the opposite, where I was like, why? I mean, I want to know how this was pitched. Hey, boys and girls, remember that ultra-traumatic anime about the Titans who ripped people apart and ate them alive? Well, get ready to laugh, because we're going to make a parody.
So I think it was done so well, though, because it makes fun of the show and the series so, like, just really spot on. Like, it notes everything that's wrong with it and says, man, that was a dumb thing.
Yeah, like the infamous like Sasha potato scene where she's like eating the potato in training and just kind of like looking Keith straight in the eyes, and he's like, why are you eating a potato? She's like, because I want to.
It's like, I'm hungry.
They like recreated that scene, and I just lost it. I thought that was so good, because that was one of the scenes that everybody made fun of on the internet, like on Tumblr and stuff, and people would be like, oh my god, I can't believe potato girl, and so I laughed really hard at that. Or like the fact that Mikasa like yells Erin's name as much as possible.
Yes, always. And that is so good. Like, it's so annoying. It's just like, Erin.
Yeah, oh
my god.
Yeah.
Or I love you, but stop.
Or just like, so I mentioned in the review that I thought the eraser thing. So basically, the whole justification for why Erin hates Titans is that he finds an eraser because a Titan drops a giant eraser on him. He writes his name on it because he wants to turn it into a stamp, and then but he writes his name like, so it's going to be backwards, and Mikasa's like, it's going to be backwards, right? And then the Titan picks up the eraser again, and he's like, your Titan's taken something precious from me.
But that's not the only precious thing they've taken from him, too. That's like the point, I guess.
Yeah, and I was like, okay. I was like kind of like on that plot point, but at the same time, it totally highlights how gung-ho Eren is, because he immediately was like, I'm gonna ban the Titans. That's how he's like in the show. He's just always like, kill the Titans.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill them. They've done this terrible thing. I'm super dramatic, super sad boy. Like, it's like,
such a sad
it's super understandable in the show. Like, he's a young kid. He's like 9 or something. And,
traumatized.
And his mom gets eaten right in front of him. That's horrible. And this is a good point of like showing how he's so like dramatic about everything, because they took away the stamp I was making out of an eraser, they've taken something dear to me. And then like his ultimate like dear thing was his lunch at some point.
I hated it. I hated the whole thing. I was like, no.
So I understand why the lunches were like what the Titans were stealing from the people as opposed to being humans, because like this is obviously supposed to be more lighthearted and not crazy dark.
That's my problem, though.
I think that's fine.
Undermines a very serious anime where I was like, that's one of the most, when Eren's mom gets eaten, it was one of the most traumatic things that I'd seen in anime in a long time. And for this show to be like, here, we're going to do this thing because we're going to undermine our own show.
It's just so good to make fun of Eren, though, because he's so bad. He is such a bad protagonist. He's so annoying. Like, that doesn't...
Why would you make fun of your own? You want a season 2 or not?
It's the mom is a different artist and everything. It's not.
It's different people.
I don't care. It still feels like they're undermining their own product.
I think it's super smart.
Yeah,
I think it's super fun.
So I kind of need that though when there's a super like heavy anime and then someone just kind of like lightheartedly makes fun of it. Like this happened with Madoka actually. There's this internet video called like something about like Maguka, the Maguka Madukas and being Maguka is suffering.
Oh, you told me about that.
And I watched that like right after I finished Madoka, and it made everything so much better because I was just crying, like laughing through my tears, basically. And so that's kind of how I felt about junior high. Is I was like, I remember how sad this moment was, or like I'll see a character that I know is dead, and I'll be like, oh my god, he's alive. And
They
I'll
also
just
made a
be
really
so-
good joke about that too. Whenever the first kid who got his lunch eaten was also the first kid to die.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I was like, hey, and the Titan like takes him in his mouth, but like spits him out. 'Cause there was a moment where I was like, oh my god, are they gonna actually do that? And then yes,
Yeah, because it's just so weird though, because like they're going to school, but the Titans are also going to school. It's just like,
yeah, it's like the Titans
what?
are the bullies of the school. I like how
Yeah, it's just
they
weird.
accidentally wandered into the Titan area of the school and like didn't realize
Everything
that
was
it was
huge.
huge.
It's like, what's wrong here? Like, there's something wrong. Why can't?
And Connie was like, I know I'm stupid, but I think something's wrong.
I love Connie.
I love Connie. Connie's the dumb one.
How much drugs were involved in the process of making this thing? I'm just wondering.
I feel
guess
like
just
was
enough.
Kojima involved in this in any way, shape? It sounds like a Kojima kind of
Kojima
thing.
joint. I also, the last point I want to make is they totally play up all of the fan favorite like couplings and stuff. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
Ymir and Krista, where like Ymir's like, don't touch my Krista. And I was like,
It's so good.
I remember when the internet freaked out about them being a couple. It was one of those things where I was just like, this is catered to my sense of humor and just
So-
me having watched this show.
I feel very bad because I know all these spoiler things because I read the manga.
Yeah.
And so I'm like super far ahead. I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, it kind
all
of
these things.
It kind of makes me want to read the manga actually because so my subhead for this review is a not so grim reminder because it's a joke.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminded me like why I liked the show because after the first season ended and you're waiting and waiting for a second season and that never comes.
Next year.
Next year, but I'd kind of forgotten like why I even cared about the show in the first place.
Right.
And so watching this is like, oh, maybe I should check out the manga and kind of like revisit this whole universe. So that was the most positive thing for me is I was like, oh yeah, I do like this show.
I think it's maybe also the reason they put it out now is because like, hey, Attack on Titan season 2 is finally coming next year. They finally put out a preview with the end of the live action film. I think at the end of that they had the teaser, like I think 2 minutes of season 2. So it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's finally happening.
It's all happening.
And Killed Titans or whatever.
Megan is not about that life.
I'm sorry. I'm glad you guys liked it. I'm just saying that the whole time I was WTFing it. I was like, what am I watching?
I'm just happy that I liked it because I wasn't really expecting much from it.
Me
And I
too.
thought I was going to be really easy to dismiss. So
I'm kind of like surprised at myself. I'm very. It's nice to like things. Honestly, like it's
yeah, it is nice to like
it's
things.
a nice part of life when
good
you
to be
like
happy.
things, and so I'm always delighted when there's something that I wasn't expecting to like that I do. But I also like that we don't all agree because I think it provides for more interesting discussion because then you point out things that I'm like, oh yeah, that is kind of a really traumatic moment, and yeah, oh my god, what's wrong with me? And so
What's wrong with them?
you know that Reggie thing where he's like, what's wrong with you? You know, or Nintendo, never mind.
Yeah.
Where Reggie's like, you don't have a 3DS yet? What's wrong with you? So that's the voice that plays in my head. Think of that.
All right.
Oh, Reggie.
Yeah, so let us know what you guys think.
Yes. What
Attack
did
on
you think of
Titan
Attack on Titan and One Punch Man? Let us know.
Let us know.
Let us know in the comments below in this article with the video and sound attached, and also on our Facebook group, which is awesome. Our awesome
Whoa.
Facebook group.
What's
like
our
that.
Facebook group?
It's, I know. It's facebook.com/group/IGN Anime Club.
And you are welcome to join us.
Yeah, wow, that's a little like after
is so
school
weird.
special. Yeah.
Sailor Moon says.
Yeah.